Ever heard a pilot say Roger that in a movie or on TV? It sounds so official, so, pilot why, right? But have you ever stopped to think, what exactly is Roger, and more importantly, what's the reply to it? It's more than just a cool-sounding confirmation, it's a tiny word packed with history, precision, and a whole lot of responsibility. Think about it. In situations where every second counts, where miscommunication can have serious, even life-threatening consequences, a simple acknowledgement needs to be crystal clear. Imagine a bustling air traffic control tower, voices overlapping, critical instructions being relayed. In that environment, a lengthy, conversational reply just wouldn't cut it. We need efficiency, brevity, and absolute certainty that a message has been received and understood. This brings us to the heart of the matter. What is Roger in this context, and what comes after it? To truly understand the reply, we need to first unpack the meaning and the origins of this seemingly simple word. Roger isn't just some random aviation slang. It has a specific historical root, tracing back to the early days of radio communication, particularly within the military. In the pre-World War II era, radio operators used a phonetic alphabet to avoid confusion between similar-sounding letters. Back then, the letter R in the phonetic alphabet was represented by the word Roger. So, when a radio operator said Roger, it wasn't a person's name they were invoking. It was simply a shorthand way of saying, I have received your transmission. Think of it as a concise way to acknowledge that the message, whatever it might have been, had been successfully heard. Now, why Roger specifically? Well, the phonetic alphabet evolved over time, but Roger stuck for quite a while, particularly in military and aviation contexts. It was short, easily understood even through static or poor reception, and became deeply ingrained in the communication protocols of these critical fields. But simply acknowledging receipt isn't always enough, is it? Hearing a message is one thing, understanding it and acting upon it is another. This is where the reply to Roger becomes crucial. It's not a single, universal answer, but rather a range of responses depending on the situation and the information conveyed. Let's consider a few scenarios. Imagine an air traffic controller giving a pilot a crucial instruction, United 321, descend and maintain flight level 250. The pilot, upon receiving this, needs to acknowledge not just that they heard it, but also that they understand it and will comply. In this case, a simple Roger might be insufficient. A more appropriate reply would be something like, Roger, United 321 descending to flight level 250. This response not only acknowledges receipt, Roger, but also reiterates the key instruction, confirming the pilot's understanding and intent to follow it. This readback, as it's often called, is a vital safety measure, ensuring that both parties are on the same page. Think of the potential for disaster if the pilot simply said Roger and then misunderstood the altitude instruction. A readback eliminates this ambiguity, providing a clear confirmation that the correct information has been received and will be acted upon. The complexity of the reply to Roger increases depending on the nature of the message. If the air traffic controller issues multiple instructions, the pilot's reply would need to address each one. For example, American 789, turn left heading 360, maintain 5,000 feet, and contact approach on 121.1. A proper response might be, Roger, turning left to 360, maintaining 5,000, and contacting approach on 121.1, American 789. Again, the Roger signifies receipt, while the rest of the transmission confirms understanding and intent. In other situations, the reply to Roger might involve a request for clarification. If a pilot doesn't fully understand an instruction, a simple Roger would be inappropriate and potentially dangerous. Instead, they would need to ask for repetition or clarification. For instance, Tower, say again last instruction for United 456. In this case, the initial acknowledgement might be omitted, or a hesitant Roger, say again, could be used to indicate receipt but a lack of complete understanding. Beyond aviation, the principle of Roger and its appropriate reply extends to other communication systems where clarity and conciseness are paramount, such as maritime radio and emergency services. While the specific phrasing might differ, the underlying principle remains the same: acknowledgement of receipt followed by confirmation of understanding or a request for clarification. It's also important to note the evolution of communication protocols. While Roger is still widely understood, especially in aviation, more modern terminology has emerged. For instance, copy is often used interchangeably with Roger to indicate that a message has been received. However, the need for a clear and informative reply remains constant. Furthermore, in highly critical situations, a simple Roger might be followed by additional information or a confirmation of action taken. Imagine a pilot reporting an emergency: "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday, this is Speedbird 206, experiencing engine failure, requesting immediate assistance." The ground control's initial response might be: "Roger, Speedbird 206, Mayday received. What are your intentions?" This Roger acknowledges the distress call, but it's immediately followed by a crucial question requiring a detailed response. Similarly, if ground control gives clearance for takeoff: Delta 123, you are cleared for takeoff, runway 27 left, wind 270 at 10 knots. The pilot's reply might be: "Roger, cleared for takeoff, runway 27 left, Delta 123. This confirms the clearance and the runway, ensuring there's no misunderstanding. The key takeaway here is that Roger on its own is just the first step in a critical communication exchange. It signifies that the message has been heard. The reply is where the real information exchange happens: the confirmation of understanding, the readback of crucial details, or the request for further information. Think of it like a verbal handshake in the world of radio communication. Roger is the initial grip, acknowledging presence. The reply is the firmer grasp and the exchange of essential information that follows. Without a clear and appropriate reply, the initial acknowledgement is essentially incomplete and potentially meaningless. So, the next time you hear Roger that, remember that it's not the end of the conversation, but rather the beginning of a crucial confirmation process. It's a small word with a big responsibility, paving the way for clear, concise, and ultimately safe communication in high-stakes environments. The true meaning lies not just in the acknowledgement, but in the informed and precise reply that follows. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.